What's going on, you guys? We're back. SportsCards Plus Plus podcast, episode 4, post All-Star break.
Yeah, number 4, we're here. We made it. Still in your room.
Yeah.
Anyways,
it is
what it is. But anyway, a lot of stuff happened in the past week. The biggest thing, NBA All-Star Game weekend in Cleveland, Ohio. Steph Curry, MVP, 50 points, 15 threes, and it was his first All-Star Game MVP. Steph Curry has become someone who you've kind of been following and been watching.
Yep.
A lot of fun to watch.
Oh yeah, ton of fun to watch. Especially like I said last pod at that Clippers game. He was making threes from beyond the arc, and it's crazy. And I didn't get to see him when he came to Minnesota the first time because he had that hand injury. But overall, it's just fun to watch the Warriors play, and he did phenomenal. During the All-Star game, winning MVP, 13 threes. But there is not a new three-point king in town, but a new three-point shooter that I feel like finally people are going to put some respect on his name a little bit.
Yep.
Karl-Anthony Towns winning the three-point contest. You called it.
I did call it.
The day,
and
the night of.
The night of, or actually, I'll be honest with you, I bought that Noir Karl-Anthony Towns auto. I was like, it's time for me to get one. I didn't have one in my collection yet, but I just had a feeling, I'm like, man, he's the least favorite on the odds to win it. I didn't bet money, obviously, because it's not legal here in Minnesota, which hopefully it will be, though.
Yeah,
that's another conversation for another day.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, man, Cat, he doesn't jump when he shoots. He just grabs the ball and shoots, and he shoots it at a high clip. I'm like, I think Cat can win this. And then that day of, I'm like, Cat's going to win this. And I remember us sitting down and watching it and me going, oh yeah, Cat's going to win this thing. And he ended up beating everybody in it. 29 points in the final round. He's the first center to win. Second Timberwolf all time since Kevin Love in 2012. It was very impressive to see what he did. And he got a lot of recognition from his peers as well. Steph Curry, Michael Jordan, players of that caliber, acknowledging him as a 3-point champion now, which is pretty cool to see.
Yep. The 3-point contest was a very fun one to watch. The dunk contest, I don't know if you could say the same thing. I mean,
that is the exact opposite of electric, energizing, however you describe the 3-point contest. The dunk contest is a flat-out failure this year.
Yep.
I don't really recall it last year, but it hasn't. I think since 2016, Toronto, Zach LaVine versus Aaron Gordon. You cannot beat that dunk contest, dude. After that, they should have been like, well, this is the peak, like, let's be done. I know that's not realistic, but basically that's what should happen, because either that or you could change the rules maybe. Maybe instead of giving them unlimited attempts to do this, like, crazy weird stuff with these weird props and whatever else they got going on, say, hey, you got three opportunities to do it, otherwise you're out. Maybe get like 8 to 10 players to do that, go to the next round, then another round, go to 2 players and let them do whatever they got to do. Now,
correct me if I'm wrong, do the fans vote who gets to be in the dunk contest?
I do not believe so, which they should. It would be cool.
I think
it'd
be
very
really
cool.
As long as whoever gets selected would be cool
because I know
doing it. Because
I know Ja would be probably the first. Ja Morant
100%.
would be the first person picked right now. But Ja Morant has no interest in doing the dunk contest for some reason. I don't know what it is. I don't know if he doesn't get paid to do it. Like, it's not worth the like, I don't know what's going on. But imagine like a Ja, Zach LaVine, Ant, and Zion, if he's healthy, dunk contest.
Yeah. Maybe just throw Aaron Gordon in there just to like have that rematch, just to like see, you know.
But that would be crazy. But something needs to happen with the dunk contest. Maybe have all these other guys. I don't know if they're influencers or who they are, but
I saw some crazy stuff on TikTok.
Yeah, we've been seeing them all over. SportsCards been posting them. People who look, they're they play basketball, whatever, they're affiliated with in some sort, but they're not NBA players. But they did a dunk that was better than anything I saw in the actual NBA dunk contest.
Yeah. I mean, to the NBA players' benefit, that's not what they're really training to achieve. But like when you do get selected for it, it's like you do want to put on a show, and then you also got to think about too, injury, one false landing, then it could be game over. But at the same time, it's like, let's at least let's make it better. Having the influencers do it would be kind of cool, but then it kind of is like, well, it kind of takes away from the NBA. I think it would just be a cool thing to have, but maybe not save it for the last little event. I mean, I know the last event is the All-Star game itself, but I think maybe start putting the 3-point contest last, and then maybe put the dunk contest before it.
Yeah. After the skills competition.
Mm-hmm. But when you really think about it, once a couple months pass, like, it's playoff time. Like, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. But I mean, there are fans who are paying their hard-earned money to go see the dunk contest and everything. And if it's not what they thought it was going to be, you're going to have some unhappy fans. So, But yeah, it was a little bit unfortunate, a little bit of a letdown. I feel like it kind of has been ever since 2016.
Yeah.
But don't get me wrong, dunking is hard. We were trying it the other day, and I still can't.
It's a little tough for
21 years of being on this earth, I still can't dunk. But hopefully one day.
Yeah, with the dunk contest, it was a failure, and if anybody responds, it's the NBA.
Yeah.
Like we saw. I don't remember what it was, but it was Steph Curry and his wife and 2 Chainz and his wife.
Yeah.
It was some weird, like, blindfold and, like, we're going to take a drink, and if we both answer, I don't know what the whole game was, but that was a failure, right? You won't see that with the NBA. Go back to COVID, when COVID happened. They were the first ones to introduce the bubble, and look how that worked out. A lot of, NHL followed and did the bubble. They lead in all these things, so
yeah.
I think if anybody can fix it, it's the NBA. You're not going to see the NFL trying to do something about the Pro Bowl.
No.
But the NBA, I have faith in the NBA that they're going to do something about it and change something.
Yeah.
Because they got to.
Yeah.
So anyways, that was Saturday night.
Yeah.
Sunday night, LeBron.
Game.
Obviously Curry, MVP, whatever. Should have went to LeBron. That's my opinion. Little bias.
Yeah.
LeBron, game-winning field goal, 24 points, 8 assists in Cleveland, his hometown. I'll be honest with you. I watch a lot of the Lakers games, and I haven't seen LeBron have that much fun all year. And him and Rob Pelinka, their camps are not getting along right now. I just don't think LeBron's happy as a Laker anymore.
I was going to say, it might be something in the air in Cleveland, and LeBron doesn't mind breathing it. He wouldn't mind going back either, I guess, if you really think about it that way. I've been seeing some things here and there, and once you see something, it's like some little rumor on Instagram where they Photoshop the jerseys and this. Well, I guess in LeBron's case, you don't have to Photoshop him in a Cavs jersey, but you see it, you're like, whatever. And you start seeing it more and more and more, and then all of a sudden, boom, it happens.
It starts out very outlandish. You're like, that's not going to happen. Yep. Just like James Harden getting traded to Brooklyn,
exactly.
Not going to happen. Then all of a sudden he gets traded to Brooklyn. Mm-hmm. Well, he wants out. He's going to get traded. James Harden comes out. We're good. Gets traded the next week for Ben Simmons. Goes to Philadelphia. I think I could see him going back. I mean, they have many pieces. They have a young Darius Garland, who was a first-time All-Star. He's been playing really well. He's starting to get the respect he deserves. Evan Mobley, he's a rookie, 7-footer. Might be Rookie of the Year. Probably the most skilled player out of the draft this year.
Yep.
They also have a guy named Jared Allen, who will, if anything comes to the rim, if you go to the rim, you better expect to get your shot blocked, because he's the premier rim defender in the NBA right now.
And I hope he never gets a haircut. I like the afro.
No,
I like it.
Jared Allen's a really good guy. I like his personality too, but you still have Kevin Love there. But I don't know how well of a fit LeBron would be on that team, to be honest with you, because it seems like they got a good thing going. Nothing's going to happen this year.
Yeah.
But LeBron only signs 1-year contracts for scenarios like this, so he can jump ship whenever he wants to.
Yep, and that's smart. And I mean, it really probably can't be much worse than the situation he's in now. Maybe it's too much star power. I never really believed in that. I remember that's what people would say when the Warriors first started. Mm-hmm. But maybe it is. I personally think it's age. I think all these guys are just showing their age, maybe just a little bit.
Yep.
Not to say that they're done, but I think they're showing their age a little bit, and the youth is starting to catch up to them.
Yep.
So I honestly, personally would like to see. We talked about this the other night. I would like to see LeBron maybe leave the Lakers, just because the Lakers have been in the spotlight for so long. Now it's just like, I don't know, the Cavs, I don't know, I would like it. It would just bring back that like 2016 vibe when he was on that team and they were going up against the Warriors battling, and that could happen again if he goes there next year. We could see that battle maybe one more time,
Possibly.
potentially, but either way, I think it would just be cool. It would like stir some things up in the NBA and just make it more fun to watch. Not that it's not fun to watch now, but I think it would be.
Yeah.
I think it'd be pretty cool if he did,
LeBron's
so.
definitely not happy where he's at right now, and I think if he went back to Cleveland, that instantly puts Cleveland as not the favorite maybe, but definitely one of the top couple favorites. I mean, the Lakers right now are not in that conversation.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's just you just need to make it to the playoffs, man.
Yep.
But they just,
and I hope they do.
Oh, they will. I'm sure they will, but they do not look good right now.
Yeah.
If there's a spot, hopefully the Timberwolves get it between the two.
Yes.
It'd be cool to see the Timberwolves in the playoffs again, but who knows? We'll see what happens. We got a couple weeks left of the regular season, then we start to creep up on the playoffs coming up, which is always a good time. And kind of changing topics here, stuff that happens in the spring, baseball.
Yeah, I think my image of me, it's about 75 degrees, good sunset going over Target Center and Target Field, watching the game. I think that image is slowly starting to fade away, unfortunately. I don't know. It doesn't seem like the MLB's got their stuff together.
No, they don't. Sources at ESPN say that their collective bargaining agreement negotiations are still very far off.
Yeah.
And here's a quote that I read that I thought it was interesting. It said, "Spring training has already been pushed back, but we're really at the deadline to get a deal done. There's an unofficial deadline date of February 28th for a new CBA to be agreed to. Otherwise, it's accepted that it's not possible to reach the March 31st date for opening day 2022. So basically, what is today? The 24th?
Mm-hmm.
If they don't have an agreement in 4 days, they're going to start canceling games in the spring, which sucks because it's like spring rolls around, you get that little, especially being here, you get that little spring fever. Mm-hmm. Baseball's back. Summer's about to start. Let's go.
And you get those 3 or 4 Twins cards. You get your Kepler. You get your Kepler auto. You get your Donaldson auto. You get your Buxton auto. You're happy.
Yep.
You're hoping the Twins do well.
Oh, the spring fever Twins card market down at the Bloomington card shows. It's a real thing.
Yeah.
You can taste it, you can smell it, you can hear it in the air down at those Bloomington card shows. Getting ready for Twins. They get Twins fever, spring fever. They're ready for it, and I don't know what's going to happen with the baseball card market moving forward at especially around here where the Twins have been a big part of the Bloomington card shows.
Yes, very big part.
Years, so.
And I mean, I'm not, and I know you and I aren't really big baseball card experts, but like, I want to know what is it going to have, like what kind of effect is it going to have on these prospects? Is that going to set them back another year? Because we know that in the MLB, the younger the players are, the better. And you really think about it, if there's no season, then is this going to kind of set back their career? And then you also got to factor in every single major sports organization took a big hit from COVID. There's no denying that.
For sure.
And then to not have a season,
not have that income, that revenue,
a year and a half later, is like, come on, man, like you gotta make something work because you're just really gonna keep digging yourself a deeper hole. So I really hope they make it work, and I really hope that I'm able to go to a Twins game this year.
Yeah, Twins games. We've talked previously on here. Twins games, especially between you and Nick, are going to be greatly missed.
Yep.
In the summer, it's for me and whatever, but I would like to see it. I like going to the Twins games itself.
Something to do.
It sucks that they're. I do enjoy that, like participating in that little Twins spring training, spring fever kind of rush down at Bloomington. You're like, oh, there's Kepler, there's Buxton, there's whatever autos, and you're like, I got one. And then everybody's exchanging those and stuff, and I don't know. We'll see what happens with it. It sounds like they're still far apart, but who knows? They might come out tomorrow and be like, "Yep, we agreed. Like we're ready to get spring training rolling and start." I mean, March 31st is a little over a month away.
Yep.
There's been no spring training. I'm sure they've been training and doing whatever else they got to do, but they haven't been able to to collectively organize as a team.
It's probably messed up a lot of people's travel plans too.
Yeah.
I mean, you and I have been to Twin Spring training before,
Mm-hmm.
back in 2017, and it's
Yep.
it's a big thing, and it's not just for Twins,
huge.
but for each
Everywhere.
organization, and especially with these cold weather teams who are down there, it gives the people who live in the cold weather state like Minnesota to go down. So I'm sure that places like Florida and Arizona, where they hold spring training, are taking a hit too, because they weren't able to have that, let alone the past few years, and now not to have it again this year. It's like there's a lot of things to factor in when you're not going to have a full sports season, let alone on top of what we just kind of got done with COVID.
True. Think about this though. There's 162 MLB games in a season.
Yep.
I honestly think that missing a couple, postponing a couple, like whatever in the beginning of the year, I don't think that has a big effect because baseball goes into October, early November. I mean, yeah, you want to see your players like play and get your team going and see who you're going to trade at the trade deadline and do whatever and get ready for that push. But if you miss a month, I don't think it's going to set them back too much because there's 162 games you're playing on. They've been complaining that there's too many games in the season anyways. So
that's what I was going to say. I'm sure some of the players are like kind of hoping it gets postponed a little bit. I think that they would.
That's a lot of games.
Probably benefit them, and hopefully it benefits the Twins.
Maybe people will stay healthy when it becomes playoffs. Yeah. Especially Byron Buxton. If the Twins do not have Byron Buxton, their odds of doing... I know they haven't... They've lost, it's like 17, 18, 19 straight playoff games. Not whatever. It's straight. They haven't won one game in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's been 19 straight.
Mm-hmm.
So without Buxton being healthy, they're not going to do anything in the playoffs, which is unfortunate, but it's the way it goes. And I don't know. Like I said, going back to it, it's maybe this won't set them off too terribly much, but only time will tell, I guess. So we'll see about that.
I mean, definitely, I still think play to the Twins' advantage. Also, you got to remember is every time the Twins start their season off, the games are cold, and right now we're looking out the window. I know it's 4 degrees out right now, and we're about to head into March, and all we see on the forecast is 20s, and maybe if you're lucky,
30s.
Mother Nature will throw you a 31-degree day, and then that's what you get. That's the bone you get to chew on until late April. Then late April, you're like, all right, we're in the clear. But so I feel like it'd be kind of nice, and I know the Detroit Tigers played a game in the snow last year, and so I think maybe this little delay will, if they have a delay, will maybe set an example for years to come, and they might realize, hey, maybe we don't need to start super early. Maybe the prospects and stuff like minor leaguers and everything can still start earlier, but like the show maybe
you don't need to be playing 160. Maybe you only need to be playing 120, 130 games. And then maybe you have your star players healthy in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And maybe it'll be better for baseball, but basically anything the MLB does is wrong, and they don't do it correctly. Think about something good they've done. Maybe juicing the balls. Maybe when they juiced the balls back in the Bomba Squad era days, and maybe that was good for baseball because you had the Yankees also going at it. Because average fans who aren't really into the analytics of baseball and this and that, they're like, no, I want to go see home runs because home runs are exciting. Yeah. Home runs are just like touchdown passes or goals and stuff. Like that's where you score. It's exciting.
Yep.
But
they're letting the boys hop on the roids now, right? Or they're not testing for it apparently.
I did forget about that. Yes, they are. They're not testing for steroids, so they are. Expect a lot of home runs when the MLB season returns. Yeah. If it's this year, if it's whenever, and that's another thing I don't know if I agree with. It's. I mean, if you want to do steroids, I'm a believer. Do them at your own risk. Yeah. But long-term effects of steroids, there's still really no data on it because it just started. People started, obviously the 90s was the steroids era, and Barry Bonds, Sammy Sosa, those players are just starting to get into their early elder years. Yeah. There's no, there's still no long-term signs of bad stuff, but there's no long-term signs of hey, that actually wasn't was good for him or whatever. So I say if you're gonna do them, take them at your own risk. And honestly, I mean, everybody nowadays is on some HGH. Everybody's on some
TRT.
Everybody's
gear.
Everybody's on that stuff anyways, which is just slightly below that. But you watch guys that are on steroids, and there's definitely some negative effects on them. Their body, their not only their hair, but just a lot of other things with their bodies.
Mm-hmm.
Just
I will say, as far as when you look at it through a competitive standpoint, we went over this, and I still personally think you shouldn't take steroids. But with baseball, such a hard sport, it's like it doesn't really matter your size and how big you are. It matters you
still got to hit that little ball with that little bat. Yeah.
Yep. Like now, when you think of a sport like UFC and someone's on steroids, it's like, well, that's a physical battle right there. But baseball's not like that. But I still think it does give you the advantage, whatever. But like, I'm not saying it should just be like, yeah, let's all like hop on the roids. I just think like, if there is one sport to not really be strict about it, I would say probably baseball. It does kind of make sense, just because I feel like it's a lot harder than
I feel like when your arms and back are huge, it's harder to swing a bat.
It is,
I don't know. I've never done it before.
Well, haven't you seen the NFL players try hitting balls, and most of them are like,
I can't
not
do
really
this.
that good. Yeah. So I agree. I will say it is a lot harder than other sports.
You still got to throw that ball accurately if you're in the field.
Yeah.
Steroids won't make you throw that ball at that target more accurately. It's still repetition and practice on it. So.
Nope. And coming from experience, playing baseball, I've always been a little bit like bigger from just because I started lifting when I was younger and everything, and it didn't help me one bit. I was not that great.
You still need that
hand-eye coordination and just the form, man. It's all the form. And so, do I think the players should hop on? Nah, I feel like you'd be fine just not, but you never know. We'll see what kind of effect it has.
Yep.
But yeah, baseball's a long season, and so is hockey, and we're getting close to the hockey playoffs now too.
We are getting close there. That does happen around spring, and when I wrote this yesterday or 2 days ago, the Wild were in the second spot in the Central Division behind Colorado. They lose to Ottawa last night in a kind of game where they really weren't. There was no energy really. Yeah. They just looked like they looked kind of slow, whatever.
It's the weather. Man.
Now they're in the third place in the Central Division behind Colorado and St. Louis now. So it'll be a race to the playoffs here. I mean, I thought the Wild looked like they were going to kind of maybe run away with it, but now they kind of slowed down a little bit.
Yeah.
Recently,
it's that point of the season.
Yeah, it's the middle of the season. It happens to the best of them. But recently they called up Matt Boldy, and when I wrote this, it was 16 games. It's now 17 games. He had 8 goals and 8 assists, which adds a dangerous playmaker to this dangerous Wild team.
Yep.
So we'll see with everybody like Kirill, Fiala, Eriksson Ek, everybody else. Boldy adds a huge offensive weapon, but they need to figure out what's going on at goalie. Talbot, I don't know if he has it. They need to figure out what's going on with their goalie situation, their defense, and you're not going to win a Stanley Cup giving up 5, 6, 7 points a game. You're not. Look at Tampa Bay. They only gave up 1 or 2 goals, per game last year.
Yep, and in the past, I feel like the Wild definitely they haven't really struggled that bad. I feel like they've always had pretty solid goalies.
Yeah.
But that's something you don't want going into the playoffs. It's unfortunate. So I hope that
there's still a lot of season left.
Yeah, there's still a lot of season left.
They can ramp it up. It's whoever gets hot going into the playoffs, man. You just keep that snowball momentum rolling, and that's what happens. But as I mentioned earlier, Kirill Kaprizov, he's on another level right now of most players in the NHL, and this is his first real full season in the NHL. You had your COVID one last year, and he won the Calder Hart MVP or the Rookie of the Year trophy last year, and he started off this year kind of slow. There was a lot of hype around him going into the season, but now he's kind of he started off slow. Now he's kind of ramping it up again, which is visible to see with his Young Guns prices. If you're not familiar, Upper Deck Young Guns is like the Prism Silver Refractor. It's like the Donruss Hollow Refractor. It's like the one you want, the rookie base card of that. his started off before the season, like they started off when he was hyped up like 150 to like $175, and he started off really slow.
Yeah.
And they started going down to, they were down into like the 60, 70, $80 range. Now they've climbed back up into like that $125 dollar range. And I don't do a ton of hockey stuff, I do a little bit, whatever, but there's people looking for Kirill, especially at the Bloomington Card Show.
Yep.
You can ask, we saw Zach firsthand. He's like, yeah, dude, like Kirills are 25% over eBay, and dealers are still getting that for their young guns. 25% over eBay, and people are still getting that for their Kirill young guns. So it'll be interesting to see what this Wild team does, and if they do go on a streak, it will be fun. It will be a ride. Hopefully, you get some Kirill before this. Strap into this roller coaster with some Kirill and just ride this roller coaster, man, because it's going to be a fun one. I
do actually have a gold tin Series 2 and a blaster. So I mean, I don't know if hockey cards they like the boxes as much as the NBA and then MLB kind of, and
NFL
football,
really.
yeah. So like I do have those. I did stash those away in the little safe downstairs, and so we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully that maybe at least is something that's like worth holding on to. Sure. But I definitely would like a Kirill card. I tried last show, but like you said, the dealers were a little bit over, and I just can't, man. Like I would love to have one, but then I'm just like, well, that's just too much. 25% over is just like, come on now. So, but then when you look at it, it's like if they go up, you'll be looking back and being like, well, I'm glad I paid that because now it would have been higher. So. I don't know. There's two ways to look at it, but we'll see what we can do next show. The next show is in a week and a half.
Yep,
pretty
week
much.
And a half.
Week and a half now. So
yeah, and we'll see. Hopefully, like as we going back to it, hopefully we have the MLB CBA agreement by then. But then it'll be an exciting show. The March, the February shows are usually pretty good, but usually that March show is like that one is when it's all happening. You're getting ready for NBA playoffs. MLB just starts.
Yep.
NFL just wrapped up. You got NHL like starting playoffs as well, and it's just it's a good card show to go to because I mean, like you said, most of the time it's like kind of decent weather around here, but this winter does not end for some reason.
Nope.
And I think there's going to be a lot of people at the next show, so it'll be a fun one to go to.
Yep, and to top it all off, we won't get into predictions just because we'll save that for our next podcast. Sure. But there is UFC 272 that day, or that night, I should say.
I forgot about that.
So that's a stacked
we'll talk about
weekend,
that next
and
week.
that'll be fun, and there will definitely be a card show, basically just a full day vlog. I think I'll definitely at least put something up of at least the card show, and then maybe even a little bit of what goes on after the card show, the PG version. But no,
I don't know if there's much PG version of that going on after the UFC. Well, before the UFC fights and after the UFC fights, I don't think there's a lot of PG stuff going on.
Well, we can try to sort through the clips, but it's gonna be fun. There's nothing like watching the UFC fights, having a couple beers, and just hang out with your friends and making do with what you have. Especially like we touched on before, the weather, but. We'll get into predictions next week whenever we decide the podcast is going up. Very much for sure. We'll probably record one Saturday after the show. We'll see, maybe.
After the show?
Never know.
Oh, yeah.
But one more thing we have on our list to touch on is Karen, a.k.a. Aaron Rodgers saga.
Yep.
What's going on and what do you think is going to happen?
Aaron Rodgers. He's been in the news a lot, and I don't like it. I could go on a whole tangent about how I don't like him, which I might.
I was gonna say me as well. That's what we're doing. That's why we're here.
He just likes the attention, and he knows he likes the attention, but he pretends like he doesn't like the attention. Just like with the whole COVID thing, with the whole I'm gonna show my foot to the camera. What are you doing, guy? What are you doing? And with this now, he went on a 12-day cleanse. Where I don't know what he was doing, throwing up, doing some weird like spiritual stuff.
Really?
Maybe he was trying some weird psychedelic drugs. That's my theory. I think he was trying some weird psychedelic drugs. And he goes on. He's on the Pat McAfee show once a week. I don't know if it's a TV or podcast, whatever he is.
A little bit of both, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't know, but he goes on there once a week, and he goes on there this week and goes, yeah, like, it's all good now. Like, we've been having, he's on there smiling. It's been all good. We've been having good conversations, this and that, but there's nothing official yet. We'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. What is that supposed to mean?
Man, he just loves to draw attention to himself, and that Instagram post and just everything else. He just, I don't know, dude. I mean, I feel like you generally have an idea of what you're going to do the following year. Especially because what doesn't make sense to me, they had to, like, not force him to play, but, like, beg him to play this year. Yep. Like, do you remember how last year it was, like, certain he was not going to play this year?
I remember it. It was the Jordan Love. It was
get
Jordan Love.
Hype.
Come on, you got to get it. Like,
Yeah.
And I had just gotten rid of, like, some, like, little chintzy jersey card I had, and I was like, damn, like, I wish I still had it. Yeah.
No, but just going back to it, he just, like I said last year, it was like, he's going to Denver, he's going to this place, he's going there, like, he's not playing. All of a sudden, he's like, him and Randall Cobb get together, this is our last ride, this is our Jordan, like, one last dance, this is it for us. Like, he literally posted, it was his last dance. Like, dude, how full of yourself are you? You are so full of yourself. And he comes back, has a decent season, wins MVP, which I still believe should have went to Tom Brady, but that's another discussion. Loses to the 49ers, and all of a sudden he's unhappy again. I'm not doing it. And goes on this weird cleanse, and he's like, yeah, it's good now. Like, we'll see what happens. Dude, I'm not putting any attention to this Aaron Rodgers, Karen Rodgers situation just because he's gonna drag it out and do whatever else. He's like, well, we'll see what happens. Well, Devontae Adams, if Devontae Adams is waiting on him and he's waiting on Devontae Adams, if the Packers sign Devontae Adams to a 1-year deal again, Aaron Rodgers will come back for another year.
Yeah.
But if Aaron Rodgers goes back, Devontae Adams will also go back.
Yeah.
So basically, if you're the Green Bay Packers, you only have to get one of them back, and the other will come back. But they are over cap, and they'll have to get rid of some other role players. But honestly, I don't know what Aaron Rodgers is going to do, and as of now, I really don't care because my attitude towards Karen Rodgers is I really don't care. That's my thing.
Yeah, like I said, I think he's going to go back to Green Bay. I really don't see him benefiting going to a subpar Broncos team. So I think he's going to go back and stay in Green Bay.
Yep.
I think what he's doing is he probably just knows he can stir the pot, and he doesn't care what anyone thinks. He doesn't care what us in my college dorm room think. So he's like, you know what? I'm just gonna mess around a little bit, kind of almost like what Tom Brady does, but not in like a. Tom Brady doesn't do it in a severe
Tom Brady
way,
does it in a way where he's like having fun and joking around and like being competitive, but Karen Rodgers, part of my language, he just makes an ass of himself.
Yeah,
honestly,
takes it to another level. And I gotta ask, because I ask us about every single thing we talk about, is what does it mean for Aaron Rodgers cards, and what would it mean if Aaron Rodgers did leave? Does the Jordan Love hype skyrocket, or what are they gonna do? Because I don't know. We haven't really gotten to see Jordan Love this year. We got to see him once against Kansas City and a little bit against.
And he sucked.
Yeah, and it's hard to judge one game against Kansas. So like we really haven't seen him, in my opinion. But other people who like to jump the gun are either like, yeah, he's not good. Like we need another quarterback. So what's gonna happen with Aaron Rodgers cards if he stays and if he leaves, and then if he leaves, what's gonna happen with Jordan Love cards?
Well, first of all. We're both Minnesota Vikings fans. We're not huge Minnesota Vikings fans, like ride or die, that's our team. But as a Minnesota Vikings fan and someone who doesn't like the Green Bay Packers, I wish I could go back to when the Packers traded up in the second round to draft Jordan Love, a player who would have been there in the next round, and they traded up. Yep. The smile on my face was so big.
Yeah,
I was so happy because I knew that they messed up for a long time.
Yep.
And now they're like, apparently they've been kind of shopping him for a third-round pick. You're not going to get a third-round pick for Jordan Love. No. They messed up big time on that one. And I think that's a reason why Aaron Rodgers was upset. I mean, which he has the right to be. Why would you do that? Get me another wide receiver. Get me some help on the defense. Get me something. I want to win a Super Bowl. which I do see Karen Rodgers' point of that, like getting mad about that. I do see that. But another thing with Aaron Rodgers, he thinks he owns the place and wants all the control of it and stuff. And you're not LeBron, guy. Sorry to say, you got to have a couple more rings for that to become LeBron and become the GM. But with Aaron Rodgers cards, I don't know, because we'll see him every once in a while around here. We'll see some Green Bay Packers fans around here, and if there is a loyal fan base, I will give it to them. It is the Green Bay Packers fan base.
100%.
Do you remember, this was a while ago, but when Brett Favre came to the Vikings, do you remember how hated Brett Favre was in Green Bay for a while? They wouldn't, like, they would not, like, have him back for a couple of years, and, like, you know, basically they became enemies because they traded Brett Favre when Brett Favre still thought he had a little bit more in the tank. And he's like, you know what, I'm going to Minnesota. I'm going to go try to win a Super Bowl just to stick it to you guys. Almost did. I get so upset about it because that was our year, man. We say it all the time. That was our year. But with this whole Aaron Rodgers things, it's kind of more on his terms than it was for Brett. He... I don't know where he's going to go. I think if he goes to a place like Denver, if he goes to a place like Tennessee, if he goes to a place, I've been hearing, this is a little sneaky here, the Arizona Cardinals. Ooh. The Arizona Cardinals are not happy with Kyler Murray, and Kyler Murray is not happy with the Arizona Cardinals. If Aaron Rodgers goes to that Arizona Cardinals team, I think they're favorites to win the Super Bowl. It's in Arizona next year. Not only that, it'd be the third year in a row, which is just like weird that happens now.
Yep.
They have DeAndre Hopkins. Who knows what Larry Fitzgerald's doing, because little insider scoop, Larry Fitzgerald and Kyler Murray didn't get along. Yeah. I think a lot of people in that Cardinals organization realize that Kyler Murray isn't really a great person. Especially Larry Fitzgerald. So maybe Aaron Rodgers goes there. Larry Fitzgerald, comes out, gives another year. Got DeAndre Hopkins. You got a very good defense too. I think it puts him at favorite to win the Super Bowl if he goes there. Which I think his cards there would go up, but the value would go down around here in the Midwest, especially in the Wisconsin and Green Bay area, because they will not want to see Aaron Rodgers. They will not want to look at him, hear him, nothing. Basically, how Minnesota Vikings fans are.
It's basically, to sum it up, it sounds like Aaron Rodgers and the Packers is a very inconsistent, toxic relationship, I'm going to say. It's like a toxic
very toxic. But, I don't know how are you all angry at them before? And then now you're like, I did my cleanse, we're all good now. We've been talking, whatever. Smiling. Then he goes, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. Dude belongs on, I can't remember the name of it. Like a soap opera. Aaron Rodgers belongs on a soap opera. That's the drama that he brings. So, maybe if he goes to Arizona, it may be a good start or a good refresher for him.
It'd be fun. I kind of hope he does leave, just because it would just, I don't know, just.
I think Days of Our Lives was the soap opera.
I always like when another player goes to another team and it just stirs the pot, and it's just I don't know, it just makes it more fun. And so I think it'd be fun. I wouldn't mind seeing Arizona going and trying to make a run at the Super Bowl. So
we're gonna be there next year.
We're gonna be there next year. So 100%. I think it'd be cool. And as far as the Jordan Love era, we can make predictions. We don't know until it happens. So I don't know what's gonna happen with the Jordan Love stuff. I think maybe he's just gonna kind of float around the league as a backup. Maybe get a shot somewhere when the starter gets hurt, and then you're gonna get to see yes, no. And if it's no, then that's it. He's just going to be another, just kind of quarterback.
Think about the Packers this year. You don't know what Aaron Rodgers is doing going into the draft. And Jordan Love is not... I know Green Bay doesn't want to come out and say it, because that will make Jordan Love's value, in terms of trade value, go way down. Yep. Jordan Love is not the answer to the Green Bay Packers. If Aaron Rodgers leaves, that franchise is going to be a disaster. It's going to be a bad team. And what do you do if you're the Green Bay Packers? You're waiting on, Rodgers might stay, but he might leave. But we need a quarterback. We're going to assume that he's going to leave, draft a quarterback maybe in the first round, and Rodgers is going to get pissed and he's going to leave then.
Yeah.
But if you take the chance and think Aaron Rodgers is going to come back and you don't draft a quarterback, well, you're stuck with Jordan Love.
Yep.
And if that does happen, Jordan Love cards are going to skyrocket. They're going to go through the roof. Again, like they did before.
Mm-hmm.
Why? Because it's all speculation. What you think he's going to do.
Yeah.
But you will not see me walking around any of the Twin Cities card shows with Jordan Love in my box. I will guarantee you that. You will not see that happen. So
I'll probably end up picking up some weird.
No, you can't do it, man. I can't do it. I just
mosaic
can't.
card, but just to have one. But overall, I don't know, man. It's gonna be interesting. I wish I just knew. That's the only thing about the off season too. Is you just wish you knew it was gonna happen. I wish we knew it was gonna happen with Rodgers. I wish we knew exactly what was gonna happen with Russell Wilson. I don't know. I haven't really heard too much on him leaving or whatever.
Hopefully Vikings.
I've seen those weird jersey swaps or whatever they do it on Instagram. I've seen Buccaneers. I didn't read it. I think they were just messing around. But you know how it is on Instagram. You click on that Explore page on your card account.
You're gonna see some wild stuff.
You're gonna see. Oh, I don't even know. You're gonna see Tom Brady to the 49ers, then to the Jets. You're gonna see Gronk in a Cincinnati uniform. Like, you just don't know, and you can't go off of that, obviously, and you just gotta wait. I guess that's all we have to do is just
I was
wait.
just gonna ask you about this. This is very wild and very conspiracy.
Mm-hmm.
Does Tom Brady go to the 49ers next year? Because here's what I heard. If you go back and look at his retirement, whatever he's said he's gonna do, you go back and read it, and it's like he's done with the Bucks, but might not be done with football. And he's from the Bay Area.
Yep.
The 49ers obviously beat Green Bay last year, and they were a quarterback a level above Jimmy Garoppolo from maybe beating the Rams and going to the Super Bowl. I don't know, man. That 49ers team, you got Deebo Samuel there, who's a wide receiver, running back, basically like a Cordell Patterson, if Cordell Patterson was used right here.
Yeah.
Maybe a Percy Harvin, like, kind of player. And then, you look on the defense, they got Eric Armstead, they got Nick Bosa, one of the most dominant defensive linemen. They got good secondary. There's all around. They got a good team, a good organization. I could see it, Tom Brady being like, I grew up a 49ers fan. I want to go back there and I want to try to give it one more, because he led the NFL in touchdown passes and throwing yards last year. I think he could. He's Tom Brady at his age. What is he? 44 now. Whatever. He's a better quarterback than Jimmy Garoppolo is right now.
Yeah, 100%.
If Tom Brady is on that 49ers team, they're going to go there.
So then what would happen? Who stays and who goes? Jimmy G or Trey Lance? Who stays and who goes? That's the thing.
I think Jimmy G goes.
You think so?
I think Jimmy G has to go. You trade him. You got Tom Brady. It doesn't matter what you get. If you get a third round pick for Jimmy Garoppolo, you take that and you run with it. Because you got Tom Brady, and he's going to come in and be the starter. And then also with that Tom Brady coming there, well, look who's behind him, Trey Lance. Tom Brady has never handed the reins to somebody, handed the organization reins over to somebody. Maybe Trey Lance might learn a thing or two behind Tom Brady and develop. Lance is
a very humble,
and then you're set up for the future then too
worker.
For the 49ers. So I could see it happening.
And I think Trey Lance would be a very good learner, too. I know my dad's gotten a chance to interview him, and he's very well-spoken and just, overall a great... Well, I don't even want to call him a young man because he's our age, but, seems like he would really benefit by having someone like Tom Brady in his corner. Now,
what are you learning behind Jimmy Garoppolo? Everybody says I suck, just don't listen to him. Yeah. Basically, that's all you're learning behind Jimmy Garoppolo. And with Tom Brady, he's like, well, I've been to a few Super Bowls. I've won a few. I've been here, I've been there, I've done this, I've done that. Yeah, I think the opportunity, if you're the 49ers, you do whatever. If I'm John Lynch, their GM, I believe he's still the GM. If I'm John Lynch, I'm texting Tom Brady, I'm calling him, I'm going down to wherever he's staying at. Hey, how's it, because think about how beneficial Tom Brady would be to your team. You have really good odds at winning the Super Bowl, great odds, and then you're also letting your first round pick quarterback develop under the greatest quarterback of all time.
Yep.
So I think that'd be a very smart move for them. But bring it back to the Aaron Rodgers thing. I could be wrong. I'm gonna look it up now. I mean, I got the internet right here.
Yeah.
Think about this.
It's going to be a fun NFL offseason. It's going to be a fun
who else
offseason.
is from? You know who else is from California?
Uh-oh.
That guy right there.
Aaron Rodgers.
Yep, Aaron Rodgers is also from California. So he wanted to be drafted by the 49ers, and the 49ers took Alex Smith instead. Is there still a little bad blood? I mean, that was, in 2005? That's
a while ago.
17 years ago.
Jeez.
But, I mean, I wouldn't put it past Aaron Rodgers to still have the grudge just because that's the type of guy he is.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to win another ring, I could see if Aaron Rodgers goes to the 49ers, it's the same thing as Tom Brady. I think they're Super Bowl favorites. I don't think the Rams can repeat against that 49ers team.
No.
I don't think so.
The 49ers team's a lethal team, man.
Yeah, they're really good.
They're a lethal team.
Trent Williams, their left tackle, is just out-of-worldly good.
Is he the one that walks out with the stereo?
Yeah, it's him and Deebo Samuel that comes out to Super Gremlin.
Yeah, I was going to say they were holding it right here. And it's just this big, almost 7-foot monster walk,
He's a big guy, and they put him in motion, and he pulls around, and he's, they're protected at O-line for a little while with that guy there, so...
Yeah. And on top of it,
if
you have
you're
Kittle,
Aaron Rodgers, man,
a good blocking tight end, and can catch.
And you got Kittle there. You got all the pieces to go win a Super Bowl there.
Yep.
I think if I'm a free agent quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, Tom Brady, I think that's the place to go because you are set up to win a Super Bowl there. I mean, you could say, in Tampa Bay too, but who knows? Who knows with Tampa Bay? That. Tom Brady was basically the reason why they won that Super Bowl. They had a great defense and stuff, but man, I think that's the best open spot for any quarterback right now is the San Francisco 49ers.
Agreed. So, I don't know. I think there's any other really great spots. I mean, maybe the Steelers? I don't know.
Maybe the Steelers. I mean, obviously Mike Tomlin is a great head coach.
Yep.
T.J. Watt just won Defensive Player of the Year. You got Juju, you got Chase Claypool there. Najee Harris, a really good running back. You always have a solid O-line. You have a solid fan base. Everything else, that's a good spot too. But I'm going to predict right here on the show.
Yep.
One of those California kids are going to go to the 49ers.
That's a good.
I'm going to predict it right now.
That's a good prediction.
The NFL offseason is very, very long. But I'm going to predict it right now that one of those California kids go back and try to win their home team a ring.
I could see it. I can see it.
So
that's a good prediction. That's a good prediction to end on.
Yep.
And if I'm Aaron Rodgers, I guess really the best advice I could give to him with all these antics he's doing is check yourself before you wreck yourself. Because, man...
be careful what you wish for, man.
Because AB did the same BS, or he did some stupid stuff, and... He should have checked himself, and now he kind of wrecked himself.
Antonio Brown was on another level.
I know, but
Antonio Brown, in all seriousness, he needs help.
Yeah, and I hope he gets
and we've known he needs help since that whole fiasco happened in Florida with his wife, and Tom Brady's like, no, I'll bring you in, whatever, you're going to help us win. Wins the Super Bowl, then this year has another one of his crazy attacks. Episodes.
And now you haven't really heard from him, and then you'll see him with Floyd and Kanye, and then
and you're like, yep, you're never going to be in the NFL again. Hopefully
well,
you don't do
what have
some
you been doing?
shit. Well, I mean, he'll never have to work again.
Yeah. As long as he's smart.
We'll see.
Because
hoping for the best for him because Antonio Brown on the Steelers was a different level of
that was
of
fun
player.
To watch. Very fun to watch.
Yeah, he was up there with obviously now the Cooper Kupps, but he was on there with the Jerry Rices, the Randy Mosses of the world. He was up there with that elite, great level of play, and he kind of threw it all away. But I don't know. That's kind of what happens sometimes, unfortunately. So
Yep.
Anyways, I think that wraps it up for
that wraps it
number
up.
4. We're
Number
already
4.
50 minutes gone by.
Yep.
Went really quick. So
That's crazy. Yeah, number 4 officially in the books. Number 5 will be out either sometime next week around this time, or we might decide to push it back for after the Bloomington show, because that's always a fun time in Wayne's basement.
Maybe let's we can talk
possibly
about
have
it.
Nick on, or we could just do 2. We could honestly we
Do one mid next week.
Yep.
And then have one maybe next weekend.
Yeah.
Or the following week, because we'll be off for break. So maybe we'll record one early in the week and have one on late, or maybe like midweek next week and early the following week.
Yes.
I would like that. That'd be good stuff.
Yeah, so that's what we'll shoot for. At the latest, you're going to get it on Saturday. We appreciate all the people that are listening, and we hope to just keep growing and keep having fun. This is a lot of fun, and don't forget to follow our card accounts, Pinelli Cards.
CJK_cards 23.
And that's it for Sports Card Plus episode 4. Thanks.
Peace.